Hi, my name's Alex Kuhn, and today I'm going to be discussing the differences between business cultures in China and the United States. This video will be targeted towards people traveling to China for the first time and have no knowledge of the country's business culture. I will explain the do's and don'ts when conducting business overseas and explain the cultural reasoning behind each country's methods. Preparation is the most important step in cross-cultural communications, and it is important to have an understanding of Chinese business methods to avoid making mistakes. The US and China have very different business cultures. Understanding differences between the two can help prevent problems that may arise later through communication. Americans are seen as very time sensitive. Americans use a time is money approach to business and prefer short, to the point meetings. Americans are known to try to get down to business as quickly as possible during business meetings. This can be seen as rude from their Chinese counterparts, who are less time-oriented and prefer to take the time to build relationships before negotiating any business contracts. Be sure to take the time to build a relationship with your Chinese counterpart before negotiating any business contracts or engaging in any international business. American business practices are among the most informal in the world. With a few exceptions, first names are usually preferred over last names. Business practices in China are formal, and last names and professional titles are usually used instead of first names. Hierarchy is also important in Asian business, and your professional title often dictates where you place along that hierarchy. When introducing yourself to your Chinese counterparts, be sure to use their last name or professional title to avoid coming across as rude. When accepting business cards, be sure to take them with both hands, and make sure you read them and put them somewhere safe. Putting a business card in your wallet or sitting on it is often taken as a sign of disrespect, so be very careful when accepting business cards. America ranks as one of the most individualistic countries in the world. This means that Americans stress individualism for personal achievement. In China, harmony between groups is valued, and change is often seen as disruptive. This means that personal achievement may be favored less than overall group performance. This is just one aspect of Chinese culture, and should not be taken as a sign of disrespect. Another thing to consider when traveling to China is the use of indirect communication. Americans tend to speak directly, that is, frankly or openly about how they feel. In China, on the other hand, businessmen may speak indirectly when negotiating a deal or a contract. A yes during a negotiation may not necessarily mean yes, it could mean maybe or I'll think about it. So studying indirect communication before traveling to China is very important. The use of silence in conversations is another important thing to consider when engaging in cross-cultural communications. Americans are often uncomfortable with silence in a conversation, and often take it as a sign that something is wrong. However, Chinese cultures use silence as a moment of reflection during conversations and negotiations, and it is not uncommon for conversations to have long periods of silence. Be sure to recognize that this silence doesn't necessarily mean that anything is wrong. Many people might react to a long period of silence by filling in the awkward gap. This can lead to you saying things that you might regret later, and can lead to many costly mistakes, so avoid doing this when negotiating cross-culturally. Another thing to keep in mind when traveling to China is the importance of food during business arrangements. Be prepared to have a full meal with your business associates. Try to avoid refusing any food that might be offered to you. Trying everything that is offered is polite, but not finishing everything on your plate is not considered rude. If you do not like something, simply leave it on the plate. Avoid associating with the number 4 when in China, as it is seen as unlucky. In a similar vein, do not offer cutting objects or flowers as gifts, because this is also seen as unlucky. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for watching.